All right. So my short presentation is about safe autonomous systems. So the key word here is safe, and it applies to the areas of robotics and what we call the Internet of Vehicles. So what you see up on the top left is a very typical autonomous task that a particular vehicle, and you can think of it as a robot if you like, is trying to perform, trying to reach their destination, trying to do so safely, avoiding these obstacles, which, by the way, may be unknown, have to be discovered, seen, and avoided, and also do it so in minimal effort. So humans, if I were to replace this vehicle by just a person who's just trying to weave in and out of obstacles, they can do that pretty well because they can reliably translate what they perceive into control actions. But the big question is, can we design AI-based autonomous systems which can do the same while guaranteeing safety? And that's very important, if not optimality. So in a more abstract setting, if you think of this cube here as containing all the possible states that a complex autonomous system can be in, we can define a set of safe environments within which the system can behave in this way. Now, if on the right, we go into a space in which we want to design automated feedback controllers to achieve that, then what I need is the specifications, that is those red circles, along with what is known about the system and what can be learned in order to design controllers which have this property we call forward invariance, which means if you start out safe, you will guarantee to be safe forever and ever, unless, of course, things change, and that's another story. And there is a theory which is based on control barrier functions, which myself, Kalin Belta, and many others are pursuing. So now, if you look at this example of a safety critical autonomous system, that is a vehicle which is autonomous. I guess it's the vehicle that Yannis showed, except before it crashed. And it is trying to get around these parked vehicles and do so safely. The reason I included this equation on the right is not because I expect you to see it, but only to show you that it's pretty complicated. So this is indeed a complex problem. And there are also rules that are imposed by humans that have to be satisfied. So if you look at the bottom left here, you can see that there are two red trajectories. In one, the agent that was moving got stuck before he or she did not have the ability or the learning knowledge to find out how quickly to steer away from that vehicle, which the other red circle was able to do. That's not easy to learn. So one of the things that we do is to try to learn these safe trajectories beforehand and then apply them online. So what you see here is green dots, which are safe, red dots, which are not safe. And these are learned through a fairly standard AI type tool, a standard neural network, and this is called a classifier. Now, when we come to the Internet of Vehicles, why is it that we can't improve traffic, all these decades, years, and knowledge? And the main reason is that there's not enough controls right now. So there's no chance for our vehicles to unleash the power of feedback that has been applied so successfully elsewhere. Also, we don't know the other driver's behavior. That's because the other drivers are competing with us. And that leads to what we call the price of anarchy. That leads to the Internet of Cars idea, which is based on the emergence of autonomous vehicles. And this is one that we have been using in a project. So as an example, look at this merging, which is not far from here. I take it every evening to go home into the Pike now, and how it can be done with autonomous vehicles. So you can see on the left, just without getting to details, how very quickly there's a backup that's formed, whereas on the right, under autonomous vehicles, everything works well. So there are a lot of open issues, which I'm just listing here. The last one is the intriguing one because we want to include humans now in our systems. And how to do that is a delicate matter. So here we have a vehicle which learns what to do at night to distinguish between a person and an animate object. And that is a good way of interacting with humans when you are engaging this vehicle for your transportation. This is an example of not a good way to interact with humans if you're a robot. And that's the kind of thing that we're trying to avoid. And we're learning how to do that as we move forward. Thank you very much.